95% of pups are born with parasites that mom was able to pass from her uterus through their placenta. In our case, we already dewormed them last week, week number 2. We're going to go ahead and deworm them again, week number 3. And then we're going to go week 4, 6, and 8. Also going to go ahead and deworm mom because, as you all know, parasites can be passed through the milk. Before we get started, we're going to go ahead and bathe the pups and bathe mama dog. Then we're going to weigh them, and then we're going to give them the correct dosage based on their weight. For those of you wondering, the water temperature is a good 85 degrees. We do that on purpose because puppies cannot regulate their temperature. And even though I'm going to dry them, they might shiver a little bit. So immediately once I'm done, I'm going to get them over to my wife so she can dry them. If you're wondering what it is that we have inside of the water, we have absolutely nothing. We didn't add vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, none of that. It's just simply water. They needed to be bathed. We went ahead and did it. You don't want to be bathing puppies this old too often unless it's ultimately necessary. If you can, do it maybe once every 2 to 3 days. If you could extend it even further, that'd be even better. You're going to notice a lot of puppies are very confident in the handling. That's because obviously we've already done this before. But you're also going to notice that there's going to be some puppies that are uncomfortable with it. These are all little hints that let you know a little bit more about each one's personality. We're going to get to know them better as these weeks pass. So we got the puppies back. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to weigh the scale to make sure it's accurate. I guess this was made for humans, as it says pinworm treatment, but it having the active ingredient of the pyrantel palmiate, 50 milligrams per 1 ml. This is really important to know whenever you're dosing your puppies. So if you look down here, it says the bottle weighs 16 flow ounces. So the first thing I want to test is going to be the scale. So we're going to go ahead and place the bottle on the scale, and it should be giving me 1 pound. It's giving me more. It's giving me 1.03.3 pounds. It is possible that the plastic is weighing on there. But once you see this discrepancy, you got to verify. Yeah, they're making noises over there. I just love that sound. We need to verify with something else. So I got myself a bottle of Ozarka spring water. I'm going to go ahead and weigh it. This is checking out. And we went ahead and we named her La Niña, which means the girl in Spanish. And she is just a little over 3 pounds. So we're going to go ahead and just put her back here for just a moment. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and prepare this. I'm going to be giving 0.1 ml per pound. So I'm going to be giving 0.1 ml per pound. So we know that this bottle states that there's 50 milligrams per ml. So we know we're going to be giving her a third of that. So we're going to go ahead and go in there. There we go. If you want to see what it looks like, that's the coloring of it. And if you look on my syringe, I don't know if you can make it out, but it's right at 0.3. Little girl here, and we're going to open her mouth and shoot it all the way to the back. And there she goes. Just like that, they're all back in. Deworming is very important for each individual pup's health, but it's also important for human health. Hookworms and roundworms can actually be trespassed to humans. If you have a little one running around, make sure they wash their hands after they played with a puppy. The other thing is you don't want your kids or yourself walking around barefoot where other dogs have pooped before or even this puppy. Larvae could be lying right on the soil, and if you step on it, it has a way to find its way right underneath your skin. And it could look something like this. I'm not saying this to alarm you. I'm just telling you this so you can take the proper precautions. Also, keep in mind, as a breeder, my pups are being dewormed on weeks 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. After that, they must be dewormed monthly. Or if you suspect a parasitic infection, you would know this because you would actually see parasites in the stool, or the puppy may be showing signs of diarrhea. Or even worse, you may be seeing the parasites coming out the rear. It also doesn't end there. You also have Giardia and Coccidia. And the way you're going to know your pup or your dog picked up on something like this, you might see some blood-tinged wet stool that can even have a mucus layer to it. And those, you're going to need a lot more than Pyrantel palmiate to get rid of. You're actually going to need a totally different medication. We use metronidazole and a medication called Bactrim, which is sulfamethoxyzole with tripropyl. We combine those two. We actually give them for about 5 days straight. The dog usually clears the blood-tinged wet stool by day 3. We go an extra 48 hours just to make sure we clear everything out. Now, mind you, as I've said in the past, we use fish antibiotics that we're able to look up online. And since I'm not a vet, I'm not able to give you dosages, but you're able to also find those online. Always make sure the area where your dog stays does not have flies, mosquitoes, or they're drinking out of puddles. Combination of those 3 or any one of them individually can actually cause your dogs to get parasites. There's one other thing that mama dogs do pass on to puppies, and that's mites. All dogs have them. If you're experiencing allergies that just won't go away, make sure to go ahead and click on this next video.